This video was addressed to the politicians of Canada, and in particular the politicians of British Columbia, where we are right now in the middle of a provincial election. It's regarding land claims. I'm Michele Tittler from the political organization End Race-Based Law, and we've been in the middle of Idle No More for the last 4 or 5 months. We have heard from thousands and thousands and thousands of Aboriginals from across this country that we are on stolen land and we can go home Jew. That was my favorite one. But we got told that in many varying ways, that we don't belong here, that we don't own land, that all of the land is theirs, that all of the resources on the land are theirs, and that we're only here as whitey to be their slaves and work for them. In fact, from what I understand, they have bumper stickers that say, get to work whitey. That has to be a human rights violation. We've got to get rid of that kind of stuff. And you as politicians need to stand up and tell this country whether or not we do own land or whether we're all on stolen land. What a way to talk to hardworking Canadian taxpayers. But they got on to the internet by the thousands and spoke with utter conviction that this was all their land and that they were taking it and it was just too bad for us. You need to address that. I know that in BC they have claimed over 100% of British Columbia. Do they not know that other people live here? And since when has any other race in this country ever said those words to them? We've heard that they have claimed the air we breathe. The air we breathe. That's pretty frightening stuff, you know. And we don't vote for these people at all, and they're claiming that they own everything. Does that mean that the East Indian farmers here in British Columbia don't actually own that land that they are farming? What about all of the people in the prairies, the farmers who have been there? Do they not own their land either? What's going on, Canada? What's going on, Mr. Politician? You need to address these issues and you have to stop acquiescing and bending over for these bullies, because that's what it is, it's bullying. No other race in this country has ever done that to anyone. We've all made it work for all this time. People are established here. We have homes and businesses and ancestors buried here. This is our lives and we're not going anywhere. This is our future and our children's future. And while you're bending over and acquiescing to the Aboriginals, you're giving away all of our children's futures. I can't see how this is good for the Aboriginals to be shown any more that they get to just bully people who live here. You had to hear them talk online to really understand the attitude that they have developed when it comes to these race-based laws and this land claim stuff. It's remarkable the way that they speak to people. They speak to us like dirt. You need to, as politicians, begin to address this, and you need to be able to tell Canada whether or not we are on stolen land or whether we're not. And if we're not, you need to stand up and tell the Aboriginals that they no longer have the right to talk to people, Canadian citizens, who pay a lot of money to keep those people going. They have to stop talking to people that way. We have to start making it a human rights violation that they terrorize this country and the people who live in it and speak to them as though they are their slaves, whitey slaves. This is just disgusting verbiage. And you talk about hate speech. I've never seen such hate speech in all my life. And yet, all of our hate speech laws don't seem to apply to them. Even me addressing their bullying and their hate speech and their incredible abuse and cyberstalking, that has been considered hate speech, but none of what they write to me has been considered hate speech to them, and it's been the most hateful, abusive stuff I've ever heard in my life. You're talking to good, average Canadian taxpayers, telling them that they're on stolen land, and now you need to address this as a country, as a province. Do we own land here or don't we?